Luigi Daniele is a senior lecturer in international humanitarian and international criminal law at Nottingham Trent University, and he joins us live from London. Well, while these devices, Daniele, were primarily, of course, in the hands of Hezbollah operatives, the fact is that children and civilians have been wounded and killed in these attacks. Does that in itself mean that they qualify as indiscriminate, if you like?
This is an argument that can surely be made if a weapon is used in a densely populated area, knowing for sure that it will kill or injure a high number of civilians. It can be contended that the use of the weapon, even if the weapon wasn't inherently indiscriminate, is nonetheless indiscriminate as a typology of use. What you were saying is important, but I also feel the necessity to clarify for our audience that the term militant per se doesn't describe a status under the law of war. So outside of areas of hostilities, the mere membership in a non-state armed group doesn't suffice to qualify the person as a lawful target. We need members of the armed wings of these organizations and members that serve continuous combat functions. That is to say that merely administrative or political personnel qualifies as civilian. And this is only one of the layers of illegality of these attacks, because, in international law there are treaties and instruments prohibiting certain weapons, and it is specifically prohibited to use booby traps or other devices in the form of apparently harmless portable objects, specifically designed or manumitted to contain explosive materials. So independently on the indiscriminate use, there are other levels of illegality of these attacks.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a bit more about that because the UN chiefs have said that, quote, civilian objects should not be weaponized. And I guess some people might question whether these types of pagers and walkie-talkies are specifically civilian. They obviously have very specific use cases. Few people in the wider world use walkie-talkies and indeed pagers on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, this is one of the problems surrounding this shocking attack, because as you can imagine, those responsible for this action and presumably for inserting military-grade explosive in these pagers could not know whether these pages would have been used exclusively by members of the relevant group serving combat functions, which is to say that those who planned and executed the attack must have known that these explosions had high likelihood of killing and injuring high concentrations of civilians. We know, as a matter of fact, that some of these pagers were taken by family members of the relevant targets at the moment in which they rang or had messages. We have reports of hundreds of people losing sight. So there is also another prohibition which is relevant, and is the prohibition of attacking with means causing superfluous injury and unnecessary suffering, even to targets which may qualify as lawful targets. So honestly, my assessment as a laws of armed conflict scholar is that by whichever angle one analyzes this attack, it's not only unlawful, but most probably criminal. There are relevant war crimes in the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court for intentionally attacking civilians, individuals not taking part in the hostilities, but also for attacking lawful targets in the knowledge that the incidental harm to civilians will be clearly disproportionate.
One perspective there on what is clearly quite a complex legal matter. Luigi Daniele from London, thank you so much for that insight on the NewsHour today.
Thanks for having me.